Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. On today's podcast, I've got one of our members, Collette, who has been with us for a little while. I wasn't sure before we jumped on the podcast, so I had to ask Collette. It's been 2 years. So Collette, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a member of Infinity?
So I'm now 41. When I joined, I was 39. I was kind of stagnant in like what I wanted to do fitness-wise because I tried clubber size. That was actually quite fun. Bloody bounce, what's it called? Boogie bounce, where it's on a little
on the trampoline.
Yeah, that's actually really hard. I thought I was going to go flying, and nothing really stuck. And then I came across it on Instagram, like like a sponsored post thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll just fill the form in. And then it was Libby that rang me, and I was really apprehensive about giving it a go. And then I did the month. And I really enjoyed it, but then financially I couldn't come back at the time. That was the June. Couldn't come back in July, and it was August, and then I've never not been away.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been an absolute whirlwind, and you book in. I think from the reports that we run, on average, you do somewhere between 16 and 20 odd sessions a month.
Yeah.
I think that the highest that you've done is 26 or 28.
All right.
So you're very consistent in terms of what you actually do. So one of the things that we do with our members is make sure that we give them accountability and support. Rather than going to a commercial gym, we want to make sure that people are showing up so that they can get the results. And this is why we have this information. It's so that we can support you. And obviously, as we learn more, we can improve the quality of the service and the coaching that you get. Now, you mentioned that you've done clubber size, you've done the boogie bounce.
Yeah.
What is it that you think didn't make that stick for you?
I just don't think I got a lot out of it. I think as well it was because I was trying to force myself to go and do something. And whereas now, if I don't come, I have to be here. It's like now I'm in that routine of coming. I can't not come. Whereas before I was just like, it's once a week. I think it was only like once or twice a week anyway. So it's like, it doesn't matter. I won't go that night.
But in terms of like not seeing the benefits of it, like what were you looking for? I mean, when you originally filled in the form for Infinity, can you remember what you put on the form?
Probably to like be stronger and lose weight, as probably what most people say is what they want. It was probably something like that. I can't actually remember, but that's what I wanted to sort of get out of that. And then I think probably because I found it a bit too difficult, I just kind of went, I'm giving up now. Yeah. Whereas now I'm not in that mindset.
So I mean, in terms of where you're at right now, then, do you feel like you've achieved that? Do you feel like you're stronger?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what are the specific things that you've noticed then?
I'm definitely a lot stronger, absolutely. And do you know what it has done? It's worked wonders for my mental health.
Okay.
Like completely. When I had my back injury, that was about 2 years ago as well, and I couldn't come for a fortnight. That was the worst because I couldn't train, I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't wait to come back. I mean, I had to gradually introduce it back in, but if I can't come, even Michael said, like, it's done so much for your mental health and well-being. You just like, you're so more like happier when you go.
So tell us a little bit more about that then. Like, what was happening with your mental health? Because a lot of people, this word gets thrown around a lot in the fitness industry in particular, and we often have. Like I've noticed with when people are looking to join, they'll fill in the form and they'll put it, I want to improve my mental health. But like if we look at that and we speak to someone who we've never met before, it's quite arbitrary. Yeah. Like what was going on before?
I mean, I'm not ashamed to like talk about the fact that I do have a lot of mental health problems. Mine's associated with things that have happened in my past when I lost my dad when I was young. Yeah. So it's kind of like, as Mike would say, Mike's my partner in case anyone needs to know, it's basically like feelings of abandonment, and it's like I'm always kind of longing for something, which now I finally have it because I've got to that point with Mike and stuff. It's just, that's kind of stuck with me throughout the years. It's like never feeling good enough and always wanting something more and never getting it. And I still have episodes now, like, I'm 41, I've had mental health problems for a long time. And only just recently I hit like a snag with something. I won't obviously go into that bit, but I have to get back out the other side and come. I didn't go on Monday to the gym, but when I came back Tuesday, I felt so much better. Yeah. Because it's like the endorphins, isn't it? It just releases it all. It's just, I don't know.
So I mean, when this is just before you started, Collette, but when we spoke to some of the members who were with us a number of years ago, we asked them what they thought about the gym. And it's similar to some of the things that you mentioned there. A lot of people come for the same reasons. We get a lot of people fill in the forms and say that they want to tone up, they want to lose weight and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But they stay for reasons that are way bigger than that. The impact that it has on the mental health, the way that it makes them feel after they leave. And it sounds like you've got that as well. Now, you've made some amazing connections in the gym with some of the ladies, and you meet up outside. You create carnage in some respects. So if you've seen any of our videos, you will have seen possibly Collette doing some form of dancing. So Collette loves a good little jig in the gym.
Yeah, but that looks like that's all I ever do. I have to go, that's not all what I do. I do work out as well. It's just those snippets of what
maybe I can get some more of those extra videos then if you're actually training and say,
Thanks.
we'll just title them, Collette doesn't just dance.
Yeah,
I actually put the work in. Thanks. So, I mean, since coming then, like, how has that positively impacted your mental health then?
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, once I come in and I do a session, even if, you know, when you have like a really bad day, like at work or whatever, you think, oh, I really can't be arsed. I don't want to do this, and I'll come. And like, if like Eve or Laura or Stacey are in, like them, like my good pals, just getting in there and having a laugh and just doing something, I go out feeling completely different. So like an hour before, I felt like shit. An hour later, I'm like, right, I'll see you later. And I go home and I feel great. Yeah,
it is amazing to see. And I think for the coaching team now, when we come together, we come up with like statement, if you like, to say that we have the opportunity to be the best part of that person's day.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who go to work, hate what they do, go home, they're stressed out, and then that cycle continues until you notice that you're like a shell of your former self. Your confidence is gone, your self-image is through the floor, and you feel absolutely rubbish in yourself, which can lead to all those things that impact the way that you eat. People, like especially the ladies that we work with, go towards the wine, crack open a bottle of wine, and they'll celebrate their success in the same way that they'll drown the sorrows. I'm going to crack open a bottle of wine, usually on a Friday after a hard week of work. And because you have those conflicting identities, that can have a negative impact on your mental health as well. And this is one of the things that took me a long time to realise owning up as a coach, because when I first started off, I thought it was all about just getting stronger, getting fitter. Like, I wanted to be the guy in Teesside that was helping women to get stronger, and we did do that. But one of the things that we realised as a result of doing that was how it made people feel. So when I had conversations with people, it had a massive impact on them personally. And it's nice to hear that from your point of view, because, I mean, the impact on the mental health, and I mean, even from my point of view, and if we had any of the other coaches here, they'd confirm this as well, like your confidence. Like the dancing in the gym, yeah, we laugh and joke about it, but when we went out for the social in Norton, and we were doing the karaoke, and you were getting up there and you were doing that, and everybody was dancing, it always takes that little bit of time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when someone goes to a wedding, the band's playing, no one gets up until they get a little bit merry, and then everyone gets up and everyone's having a dance, and even Uncle Knobhead in the corner who's never done the dance, and he starts swaying in the corner and he's just doing this little jig. But everyone starts to relax, and that's what, like, I would see the community as at Infinity. When you first come in, it's kind of like you're walking into that social event, that wedding, the first time, and you're like, oh, I'm just getting a feel for the place. You sit in the corner, but then you meet someone like you have with Eve, Laura, Stacey, and some of the other ladies that are in there. You generate those connections, and that's what makes the whole thing sticky for you. So it's no longer about like, oh, I have to go into the gym today and hit a PB with deadlifts. I need to get my first push-up and stuff like that, which we'll touch on. It's more about the way that it makes you feel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you spoke to Libby, I imagine there was a little bit of apprehension there.
Yeah. What in the first conversation?
Yeah. So when you initially hopped on the call with Libby.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What were your initial thoughts when Libby rang you up?
It was crazy, because I was like, someone's actually responded to something, and it's kind of like, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, because you fill in an online form, you just think, oh, I've just filled that form in, and then she rang me, I was like,
shit.
Oh God, it's real now. And then it's like, if you want to say no, which I didn't, but it's like, you daren't say no because they're on the phone. But it was scary when she rang me and like taking that initial step to actually do something.
So one of the interesting things, like just to give you a bit of perspective for this, and obviously the people who are watching or listening, is like often we jump on the call. It's like, hi, it's Warren here from Infinity. Hello, and you hear the and immediately we try and deflect that. Like the same as when I'm having these conversations.
Yeah.
It's get someone as relaxed as possible, because the hard thing as a coach, I know that what we do in terms of the program, the nutrition and everything else helps people. But the only way that it helps people and helps them to make a lifestyle change that's a true transformation that they keep on doing for longevity, if you like, is by fully understanding that person and why it's important to them. So you've dove into the mental health there. For someone else who's watching this, it might start with that surface level stuff. That's where we start on the call all the time.
Yeah.
I just want to get stronger. I just want to get fitter. Right, what's been the barrier to helping you achieve that? Now you've done clubbercise and the boogie bounce.
Yeah.
Like, have you tried anything else?
No.
No.
I don't think so, no.
What about diets and things like that?
Oh yeah, we've all tried like diets and stuff, but then it's just, you never stick to them. Well, I never stick to them.
What have you tried?
I haven't done like an official one. It's just like I've cut back on what I've eaten, and I did lose a lot of weight about 8 years ago. I was about 8 stone, and then I thought I looked great.
Okay,
I was
so
quite skinny, but
so for a lot of people, they'll try lots of different things.
Yeah.
But again, it comes back to what makes it stick. And we talked about, before we hopped on this, about like building new habits.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that in the future you won't put weight on again. It just means that we're building the things that are going to make us focus on the person that we want to be. Like, a lot of people will say, I want to lose weight, and they can specifically adhere to a program, to a diet for maybe 6 to 8 weeks, but then they fall back into old habits and put that weight back on. But when you're able to make that identity shift, now that might not be around weight loss. It might simply be, I want to be someone who is physically active and got a positive outlook when it comes to life, because you've got all these challenges going on in the background. Coming to the gym might simply be your way of saying, right, this is my 1 hour for me to spend time working on myself, to be around people that have a positive impact on myself as a whole. And when we jump on the call, it's about understanding that key component. Because if someone says to me, I just want to lose weight, and I say, like, what sort of impact is it having on your life? And you can't answer that question, it's very difficult for me to as a coach, then get you moving.
Yeah.
Now, there is rare occasions where someone will say that, and it's like, oh, that's quite a good question. I've never really thought about it before. It takes a little bit of time to open up and actually come to the true extent.
Yeah.
And that might be part of your journey over the last 2 years of understanding that. But, I mean, what was it on the call that was the driving factor, would you say, in taking that leap? Because it is a leap of faith for you as well.
Oh God, yeah. It was something completely different, because obviously if you do like clubbercise and like it's all cardio, whereas it is more strength, but there is cardio involved in it as well. And that was something I'd never thought about doing, because you just assume if you lift weights you're going to get bulky and stuff, but it's not like that. And I think it was probably the aspect of becoming stronger that was the key, as opposed to just doing loads of cardio. And it was just something completely, I mean, obviously it's ladies only as well, but that's not the issue. But it was just, I don't know, I think it was probably just that, like being stronger and being able to like do more.
So if we're talking about stronger then,
Yeah.
to attribute it to something, like what's been the highlight for you? Like, what's been the best thing so far over the last 2 years?
Back squatting about, I think it was about 80 kilos for like 5 reps or something. I was buzzing with that, absolutely.
Great.
That's like probably I love a back squat, and it's not for everyone, but I loved it. And it was just like, I can't believe I've done it. I mean, I can't imagine the colour of my face or like what faces I was pulling, but
I think we have got the video for that, or one of the videos leading up to it. So if I can, I'll share that. But when that 80 kilos was on there,
yeah,
what were you thinking?
Am I going to be able to do it? Because you get under the bar, and before you even lift it, you're like, right, I've got this on me. Then you've got it, and you're like, shit, this is heavy. And then you've got to squat, and you think, oh God, what if my back goes? What if I can't get up? And it's like, when you do it, you're like, I can't believe I've just done that. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. But then my brain's like, Libby's like, I think it was Libby actually. She was like, do one more. And I was like, right.
Yeah, it was Libby's session.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I want to do another one. I want to do another one because I want to see if I can. It's like I think in that particular session I was with Stacey and I was putting more weight on all the time. Stacey got to a point and she was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to put more on. I want to do it. I want to have a go.
And it's interesting to see just that confidence, because you've had a lot of challenges with your back in the past, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like we've had a number of occasions where, like, was there once where you pulled it at work and you were struggling? I can't remember whether you come in once and you twinged it at work or something.
Probably, yeah.
And obviously we always try and work around everything that you're doing, but
Yeah.
you've twinged it before from doing stuff in the gym. I mean, just yesterday in a sweat session of all things. Tuesday. When you twinged it, and I mean that was on the row machine.
Yeah.
And you just had a spasm in the back.
Oh,
you laid on the
horrible,
floor, and it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing from that was the fact that you got up.
Yeah.
Like, it took your breath away.
Yeah.
You were very nervous and you could tell the apprehension was there, but you went back into the routine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you give yourself that space. Whereas for a lot of people, having that issue happen, they would then stop altogether. Like, oh, I can't do it. It's just going to damage my back. And it's like seeing that confidence in you, like, is probably difficult for you to see because you're spending time with yourself all the time.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned about the back squat, like, we know that you have apprehension around doing the deadlift.
Yeah.
So we do it based on how you feel on the day. Now, you've deadlifted how much?
I think it was with the hex bar. I don't know if that was about 90 with the hex bar.
Was it 90?
Yeah.
What did you do recently with the barbell?
I think I stopped at about 55.
Right, okay.
That was recently.
So your back, you've got a bar on your back, just for people who've never seen this before, and you've got 80 kilos on your back, which is close to my weight. So essentially, Collette is squatting with me, and you're essentially squatting down to a box there, standing back up with that weight on your shoulders. Like, would you in a million years have thought that you were going to be doing that?
Absolutely not.
After doing boogie bounce and spinning around glow sticks?
I didn't even think I could pick up a bloody 7.5 kilo dumbbell, never mind back squat, all that.
And I think one of the nicest things that we talk about all the time is that one time that I'd messaged in the group and I said, listen, we've got this lady who is sitting on the fence. And obviously there might be some ladies who are watching this sitting on the fence or listening to this who are not sure about whether it's going to be right for them. You've had those emotions before, and you sat in your kitchen and done a really nice video. I think it was about 4 or 5 minutes long.
Yeah, went on a bit later.
for that lady. But the thing was, it was raw, it was honest, and you know where they've been. So I mean, what would be your message to someone now? Like, what would you say? Like, you're having a conversation with someone's in a coffee shop saying, like, oh, I want to transform my health and fitness. Like, what would you say to them?
Well, what's stopping you? Unless you go out of your way to do it, you're never going to know whether you can do it or not. Because you could say, oh, well, I don't know if it's for me. Well, try it. What's the worst that can happen? You try it, you don't like it, fair enough.
Yeah.
The hardest bit is, like I said in that video, is just to come through the door. Because we're established, and, there's all, like, groups and stuff, and you come in and you think, what am I in? And, like, you're dead nervous, you don't know anyone. Just come into the fold. I know that's not a gym related. That's just me being old. Just come into the fold, and we'll look after you. Like Laura, the new Laura, because there's Laura, my Laura, and then there's the other one, the taller Laura.
Yeah.
So
Laura Ray, but we have 2 Laura Rays now.
Oh God, that one anyway. Yeah. She's only new. Just like, yeah, come on, this is what we'll do. Just bring her in.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the hardest things that people struggle to overcome, is like realizing that they are so close to getting everything that they need when it comes to their health and fitness. Now, I never position what we do as like, oh, you're going to get weight loss results fast, because we use the InBody scanner. You use it yourself. Everyone is going to progress at different rates. Now, we've been looking over the data for that. Obviously, since you've been with us for 2 years and you've had multiple scans, we can look at what's happening with that.
Yeah.
Put that together with the yearly review that we're going to do and understand like what we're going to do moving forward. And I think that's one of the biggest components of this, is that you've made a lifestyle switch because you've done two things that you've never really stuck at. Like, obviously, being in your 40s now, previously...
Early 40s, don't make it seem like I'm really old. It's early 40s.
Been just touching your 40s now. But you've taken on way more challenges. Like, you started the running club, obviously you've got an issue around that at the moment, so you're injured there. And I think...
Just postponed for now, that.
I think once someone is able to overcome that initial phase of like, oh, I'll fill in the form and then I'll make the commitment to speak to someone, not avoid them, because we get that a lot of times as well, and I get it. Like, it's nervy owning up and saying that I've got a problem.
Yeah.
But like, one of the ways that we'll look at this, and it's obviously not anyone in particular. It's like, if you've got a problem with your health, you'll go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But if you've got a problem that's ongoing with your health, potentially you've got the opportunity to change that. The majority of problems that lie in the NHS right now are lifestyle related. You go to the doctor and they're like, oh, you need to adjust your lifestyle, you need to go on a diet, you need to lose weight, my BMI is too high, I've got high blood pressure. Particularly after weight and after the 40s, like, I'm leaning into some of that stuff around perimenopause. And people might start to get concerned with that. And obviously you've made a big start, and I spoke to Stacey about this. Like, Stacey said to me, that was one of the driving factors. She didn't want to get older and feel like she was losing the energy. She didn't want to get older and feel like she had all those aches and pains. Yet so many people will say, oh, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to wait, I'm going to put it off until after this moment. And I mean, we're getting a lot of that right now, because at the time of recording this, we're in December.
Yeah.
People will be starting to think about getting started in January.
Yeah.
But the best time to start is always going to be now. And I mean, you made that commitment to get started with us, and then obviously finances weren't in the right place. You took a bit of a gap within that. Now, we know from training people in the gym, the people that do that, quite often they don't come back. We see it every now and again, but it's very, very rare. And you came back because you were so determined. And the positive thing about that, that's only grown. And now you have that positive impact on other people, because when you did that video, I actually said to Bradley and Libby, I was like, this is amazing, this. Like, everyone will comment and they'll post stuff in the group and they'll leave the nice comments, because it's very easy to articulate a message. But when you jumped on there, like, it's very raw. And it's coming from the heart. So it was really nice to see that people like yourself are willing to inspire or encourage someone else that you've never really met before. Yeah. So it is amazing to see that. Like, what do you feel about the future? Like, what do you want to achieve in the future?
I did actually have a conversation about this last night with Mike, and he said I don't like to share personal things about other people, but he did say he's not bothered. I have obviously explained it before. He's got degenerative spinal condition, which means that at some point, possibly in the future, probably within the next 20 years, he might be in a wheelchair. So now, instead of it being, it's not just all about me, it's like, I'm doing it for him. I want to be able to take care of him. If I need to push him around in his wheelchair, I want to have the strength to do that. If he falls, I want to be able to pick him up. So it's not just about me anymore, it is literally about him as well.
And he's not a short guy.
And he's not a short guy, no, he's 6'5". So that's going to be very difficult as well. But, you know, and he says, it's not about me, it's about you, but for me it is about him as well. Yeah. Because he's my partner. I intend to be with him for the rest of our lives at least. So that's why I'm doing it for him, and that's why I'm pushing myself. I want to lift a bit heavier, I want to do this, I want to do that. So
the strength that you're building is not just because you want to squat 80 kilos or 90 kilos or even 100 kilos. It's more related to how it impacts your life outside of the gym. And I mean, what then in terms of experiences would you love to have outside? Like, I'm not just talking about gym related stuff here. Like, what do you want your life to look like moving forward?
I would like to be able to go and do more stuff with him. It is difficult depending like how his back is and stuff. So we can't, you know, we're not like hiking people. We're also not sun people because we've got ginger skin and we may burst into flames if we step in the sun. So we're not heat people either. But we are going to Amsterdam next year for a couple of days, which is nice. It's just to be able to like do stuff with him, and I'm trying to encourage him as well a little bit to try and look after himself a little bit more, shall we say, which is hard, but. You know.
So it seems like a lot of this is related to, like, obviously the relationship, and I think that's one of the most important things, because like just sharing my experience in comparison, like having Nora, like I never thought in a million years that I would get to the point of having a daughter. I never thought I'd have a child, if I'm honest, but like getting to that point, it opens your eyes to all the possibilities, because I've been a gym goer now for 20 years, like probably more than that. Like I can't remember a day where I wasn't involved in the gym, but I can still remember those feelings that you experienced. And once I got into the mindset of going to the gym, it became like, oh, I want to get better, I want to get stronger, I want that 100 kilo squat, I want that 150 kilo squat, and it just became that snowball effect. I did some of the events, like you did the 5k. I did some of those events, and I went and done it, and I was like, I got that buzz, and then I got the fire in my stomach. COVID hit. Things sort of went back over, and I was like, right, I don't really have this identity anymore. I'm not a weightlifter. I'm not doing the gymnastics as much as I used to do. And you find yourself slipping away from the fitness stuff, and you have to reevaluate things. Yeah. And that's where the identity shift came in. Like once we had Nora, and I shared with you before we jumped on this call about like one of the habits that I've created for myself. So I have an app where I'll basically, I've identified a habit that I want to have. And rather than what I would do in the past is go to the gym 5 times a week, I've essentially said, I will strength train 3 times a week by going to the gym on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Saturday, because those are the most available times for me, because I want to be a stronger dad for my daughter so that I can be involved in her life. And that's one of my biggest drivers for physical exercise now. And obviously yours is related to Mike and possibly Marlo.
And Marlo.
Marlo's a little doggy.
Yeah, he's not little, is he?
Well,
he's a Staffy Sharphair cross, and he's all head.
Tank.
He's
an absolute tank.
He is. Bless him.
But yeah, being able to do those things has a massive impact, because once you identify with that, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z, you're more likely to stick at it. And this is one of the number one reasons why I find so many people struggle to make the gym stick. I think it's one of the biggest challenges that people will always face, is that even if you lose the weight, unless you've found a compelling reason as to why you're going to make it stick, you'll always put that weight back on. Now, if you're doing it for health reasons that are sidelined from losing weight, chances are you might lose some weight, you might put it back on, but if you keep up the healthy activity, your health is going to be in a much better place, so you're not going to the doctors. You've not got those menopausal symptoms that are magnified because you're not healthy, you're not active, and it can have a negative impact in the long run. Have you given any thought to any of that, the menopause related stuff? Have you?
No, I've tried not
to think about it.
Especially since you put me in a thing a couple of years ago about the menopause, and
I
was in that picture.
Yeah. So I used.
No, I haven't.
That's still on Instagram. So I used a picture of Collette a number of years ago, because it was a good picture. I think
what I was doing.
You were doing an incline press on the bench with the dumbbells.
Yeah, I think I was.
And we had one of the other ladies who was with us at the time in the background doing an overhead press. And we used that picture to talk about the menopause.
I was like, I'm not going through the menopause. Why am I in that?
Forward thinking. That's how Stacey started. She wasn't at that point, and she started thinking about that. But yeah, I mean, the thing that people will never see is like the community. Yeah. Because a lot of people will come to us and they're like, I want to get the result, and they focus on that, and that's fine. Like a lot of us want to see change. Like no one wants to go somewhere and never see any change. But if you're consistent and you put the action in, you'll get that progress. And obviously with the accountability and support that you get from the coaches, like what do you feel is the benefit from that?
It's like you're being held responsible, aren't you? So if you're not doing something, I want you to say, like, I don't know, if I'm not making the effort to come in, I want you to tell me. If it looks like I'm just half-assing a session, I want you to tell me. Otherwise, I'm just going to flounder and do what I want. I kind of want that.
So getting the messages where it says like, I want a word with you.
Yeah, don't do that, right? Because I always think I've done something wrong. It's like if you're at work and a manager, and I said this to my manager as well. He's like, oh, "Can we just have a little chat?" I go, "Yeah."
Did you get that sinking feeling?
Yeah, I did. I was like, turn around. I was like, "Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've done something wrong. Oh my god." I walked in the little room. He went, "You're not in trouble, by the way." I was like, "You could lead with that."
Thanks for those few little moments of just like panicking.
You could have led with that rather than making me shit for like 5 minutes while you went and got a brew before we had a little chat. So don't message, "I need to have a word," or "Can we have a chat, please?"
But yeah, I think one of the major things is like, obviously that wasn't anything to do with anything bad. It was actually about this.
Yeah.
But if someone hasn't been in for a couple of days, we want to make sure that they're okay, that you're okay. We want you to feel like you're making progress when it comes to coming in the gym. And one of the primary things with this is that so many people will sign up to the gym, start of the year. A lot of people will sign up to the gym coming up for summer because they want to get in shape. But realistically, if you don't know what you're doing, you've never done it before, it's going to be a real challenge to overcome that. And the amount of money that you will spend in going to a commercial gym versus investing in yourself to make a long-term change, just like Collette has, is going to be profound. Like, yeah, you can go to a commercial gym if you know what you're doing, but the majority of people in there don't know what they're doing. They walk about aimlessly, picking exercises at random, whereas we've built out a program to help you get there.
I like that as well, like the structure of it all, because like you said, if I was to just go to like a normal gym, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, well, maybe this does this. And I like the fact that it's structured and it's like, it's on the board sometimes. This is what we're going to be doing. And I like that. I know that's not for everyone, but I do like that because it's like, right, I know what I'm doing. Let's get in and do it. If I'm left to my own devices, I'll just sit and do that.
But then even when we put it on the board, the way that we'll write it out is like that program is there for the coaches to assess who's in that session, because everybody comes in different scenarios. Like obviously you've had your back problems. We've got some of the ladies, maybe the shoulder after the crack.
I know, yeah.
But some of the ladies who'll come in who've had joint replacements, and being able to have a program that we can flexibly adapt to the person gives you that element of personal training. And I mean, we work in groups of up to 6 when we do the small group stuff. We have slightly larger group stuff, but again, we try and make accommodations for anything that anyone is going through. And that's how we help people to progress. Like you're in a community driven situation that helps to keep you motivated, that encourages and inspires you. And you've got people like Collette who are there, who've been exactly where you are, so that you can feel confident in that you've got the coaching team there that's going to support you, so that you know that you're not doing things that are going to potentially cause you harm. And you've got the backing of other people who've been exactly where you are, knows what it feels like, and obviously has come out the other side and now is a proponent of infinity, saying like, oh, I love that you're doing this, or they'll even say that they see the changes in you. I think one of the things to flick back on there is just when you mentioned earlier about what we would say to someone who was looking to get started, and you never actually said go to infinity. So you never said go to infinity, and that's a great thing.
Oh, like I thought that was a trick question.
No.
Woo!
So one of the big things that we'll say to someone who is looking to speak to us on a call is we only want people that we know we can help. Now, some people will know what they're doing when they go to the gym, and it's just a case of giving them a kick up the backside. You might be better off getting an online coach for something like that. That's not something that we currently work with. But if you're a lady who is nervous about going to the gym, hates commercial gyms, it might potentially be for you. If you're someone who wants that fun and engaging environment, it might be for you. But if you're someone who just wants to lose weight and wants one of these 6-week programs in order to get there as quickly as possible, it's probably not for you. Because what we find is that these people haven't got the real reason as to why they want to do it, so they're not going to stick at it long term like someone like Collette has. Once we figure out that, we can make the decision then based on whether we think we can help you or whether we can give you another option on moving forward. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we try and do is like when we jump on the call, it's not just to get someone to sign up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I need to be 100% clear that you are first going to put your work in. You're going to be consistent. You're going to take action on the things that we ask you to implement. And if you do, you're going to get results much faster. But not only that, you're going to have longevity as well. So I think, is there anything else that you want to add to that?
I think as well, it's not all about going in and doing a workout. It's like a little family. I've met my mate, besties for life. We have a little WhatsApp group, me, Eve and Lauren. It was me that named it, Gym Besties, and I put like a picture in. And, 9 times out of 10, we don't even chat. We just send each other like memes and stuff. But that's what's come out of it as well, the fact that I've got like some really good mates. And, it's not all about the gym as well. The social events that we do. Was it last year we went to Go Ape?
Yeah, I didn't actually go to that. I can't remember what I was doing.
That was brilliant. We did Go Ape, we did the go-karting. Obviously we did the
I was surprised
stuff.
how competitive you were with that, to be fair.
I love that, mate. Oh, that was great.
Bradley wants to go again.
I had to have a booster seat. I sat in it, right? I will just say this. And obviously you have to press the pedal to stop and start. And he was like, looking. And he went, stand up. I thought, I'm not going to be able to go here. I was like, oh, God. Come out with this bloody child's booster seat. Put it in. And you just to say, done it.
They have a thing on the pedals as well, don't they? So you can reach them easier.
Well, he obviously didn't adjust mine. Did,
so, did you not need that bit?
No. But then once I got going, because it was for Brad, was it his birthday? Or is it, no, has he been there for a year at that point?
Yeah, he'd been there for a year, so we went out for Bradley because he's in the Formula One.
Yeah.
That was I mean, everything he does in the gym's related to Formula One, so yeah.
But yeah, there's that aspect of it as well, so just don't think that it's coming just to do that. You can relax and have fun, and you will meet loads of people and make loads of new friends and have the social aspect of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, that was one of the amazing things as a coach. Like, looking back now, I never expected in a million years that people would make lifelong connections there. Mm. Like, some of the girls that are friends on Facebook, they still connect with one another. Some of the girls went to Iceland. They did things all the way throughout COVID.
Not the shop.
Yeah, not the shop in Stockton. They went to the actual place, Iceland, and they've had holidays abroad. Naomi my girlfriend went with a couple of the girls, and they went to Split in Croatia. She's determined to get me to go there. And it's amazing to see that people make those connections, not just inside the gym, but outside as well. But it started with that. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people who might be in a hard place right now, who want to transform their health, but they're around people that might not necessarily be encouraging or supportive of it. Because you will meet people who, I don't know if this has happened to you, I was just talking about this just this morning actually, and you will meet people who will say to you, oh, you don't need to go to the gym, you're absolutely fine as you are, but they don't understand the stuff that's going on in your mind. And those people are coming from the best possible place, but realistically, in staying stuck or not taking action as a result of that person saying that, and you sort of appease them, you're not working on yourself. So further down the line, you can cause yourself more stress and you're not truly happy with yourself. But I mean, being around those other girls now, seeing Collette in the gym with Eve and Laura, and I'll pair them up in a specific way based on what they're doing in that session.
He means he's sizist because Laura's only little as well. Don't be lying.
But you'll push each other and support each other in the same way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, selfishly, it makes the coaching easier for me because when you're in there, it's like you're bouncing off of one another.
Yeah.
And we can stand back and we can say, like, we've created a nice environment there where you're encouraging and you're supporting and you're inspiring others. And I think a lot of people looking from the outside in can, as you mentioned, it's like you've got that like click now.
Yeah.
But when people come in and they meet you and they think, oh my God, it's like actually quite nice this, I like this. And they walk out and they're like, oh, I feel a little bit better from doing that. And you tell someone at home, sometimes people at home just don't realise what it's like. Because it's quite difficult to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or go to the gym to exercise and it's like, well, you can go to any gym and exercise. Yeah, but this is my gym. This is different. I
have said it before, it is my happy place. I think I said that, I don't know if it was within the last couple of years. So that's mine, it's trademarked. Don't be stealing it, please. I said it first. Well,
we put it on the window. You can say that you put it on the window.
I did this.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming down, Collette.
Right.
I appreciate having the chat, and it's super helpful for us, obviously catching up and finding out where things are at. And yeah, hopefully we can support you in getting stronger over the course of the next year.
Yeah.
And maybe touch base again in a year, jump on this and see if anything's changed.
Oh God, that'll be good, won't it? Come back in a year and do a side by side. Can you imagine? I don't know. Can you just the difference like?
What would you like to achieve? This is accountability now.
Oh, hey! Don't be saying that. What would I like to achieve? Oh my God. Definitely, obviously, getting this like stronger and stuff. I wanna be able to. Oh God, I don't want to say it. No, I'm gonna have to now. I've said that because I hate it when people do that as well. By this time next year, we'll be millionaires. I want to back squat 100 kg.
Right. Okay.
Oh no, I've just put it out there now. I'm gonna have to do it. I'll have to do it, won't I? I've said it now. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I want to be able to do that.
Okay.
Deadlifts are not for me, but that's my bread and butter.
Yeah, I'm the same. I prefer to squat over deadlift, but I think I can do it, but I always tend to have like niggles and stuff after I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for coming along.
Right.
Excited to help you over the course of the next year and however long you decide to grace us with your dancing.
Hey, I'm here forever. My moves. Once my foot's on 100%, I'll be busting them out again. Don't you worry about that.
Maybe we can get a karaoke and you do karaoke in the gym. Karaoke Fridays.
Oh, now that's a good idea.
See, I'm doing this as accountability so that we can put it out there for Libby and do that. But listen, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, listen to this. If you have any questions about joining Infinity, if you've got any questions about working on your health and fitness, we're always happy to help. So please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, on Facebook, or pop down to the gym if you would like to. We're more than happy to have a chat about where you're at right now and to see if we can help you move. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I will see you in the next one. I'll leave that in now.
I hope you do.